Oh,
Hey,
man.
y'all.
Hey, community.
What's up? Hey, community.
What's up?
Let's pop in.
What's up?
You know what?
Hey.
I don't know. Have you guys ever seen that little video clip of it was a Dr. Phil show where this, I don't even know what his ethnicity is. He presents white, but he also presents like white Latino, and he's got a little like a little, what are those man buns?
Okay.
You know, them. And
Okay, a
by the
man
way,
bun.
that thing.
Okay.
And he comes on, and apparently it's one of those shows where it's like my child is out of control, but he's 26. Have you ever seen this? And he comes on. If you haven't seen this in Community, if you know what I'm talking about, hit us up. But if you haven't seen it, go on there and look up What's Poppin', Dr. Phil.
What's poppin', Dr. Phil?
Because it's like a little clip. It's like 15 seconds long, and you see this guy kind of like, he's very effeminately gay.
Does he still have a show, Dr. Phil?
I don't know. I never watched his show.
I never watched it either.
So I don't know. But he comes on the show, and he's got all this attitude. And little did he know that the producers told everybody in the audience to not react, because apparently he, you know, like.
Oh, he lives for the reaction.
Yeah.
So he comes in, he goes, "Hey, what's up? What's poppin', Dr. Phil?" Just
and
like
nobody's
that.
giving him
and then
any
it's
energy.
crickets. It's crickets.
That's what he gets.
And then he gets in a chair and he goes, "How you doing?" He goes, "I'm all right." And he goes, "You know what'll make you feel better?" And he gets up and starts twerking for Dr. Phil. He goes, "That didn't work." And then that's the hit. That's it. It's so funny.
Next episode. Community is one of those episodes where we had an episode before the episode, so we literally just clapped it up and hopped right back in. Hopefully you all are doing all right.
It's just the three of us. Just the three of us.
Hey, we can make
it if you try.
Just the three of us.
Come on, Sopranos. Just the three of us. Okay, that was more Atto, but anyway. But you see only two of the aunties have wigs on, the two. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, by the way. Subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell button whenever we got a new episode coming out and all that. But we got the Black Farrah Fawcett over there. Yes, 1972. And then we got Auntie Henny that was too drunk off the Henny to slap a wig on.
She rocking in Michelle Ndegeocello.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, there we go.
Right.
Boom. That's what we
got the Tiffany Haddish going
over here. Okay, look. Yeah, I was too hungover for a wig today. Like, that's when you know it's bad. I'm not even drinking nothing Community. I have me a bubbly sparkling water and no wig on because I can't handle much. Like,
well, that voice isn't hoarse, so you must not have been doing a lot of screaming.
Oh no, it's just anxiety. Just drinking and edible. Yeah I took 3 naps today.
Oh damn!
Got the day.
That is a hungover day.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Like you literally just eat something kind of greasy, and then you're like, okay, nap time. You wake up, eat a little something else again, lay your ass back down. Like
that is so true. But yeah, I know we did that IG live, and I could tell you was already in that mode. I was like, "Oh, she gonna be."
I hadn't drank nothing yet.
But I was like, you had that energy, like, "Oh, it's about to be a drinking night."
Yeah, them have fun. Iced me on IG live too.
So did. So did.
Those my besties. We a hot mess.
I love it. Taco
we were having
Tuesday.
Shots of tequila. We were doing shots because anytime you said the word election or you mentioned it, everyone had to take a shot. So not only did you screw yourself, you screwed the whole gang. Yes, and there was only 5 of us. And so
I bet the first couple ones was like, okay, everybody's into it, but then after a little bit, it's like, damn,
it's like fuck this shit.
Hell no! Even that first shot of tequila, we were like,
oh, you were doing shots of tequila too?
Yes, we started off with shots of tequila because it was Taco Tuesday and margaritas. So we're like, okay, we'll do shots of tequila to go, with our margaritas. Well, Auntie Henny wasn't drinking margaritas. She was drinking vodka Red Bulls. So she's drinking vodka Red Bulls. She's having shots of tequilas. And then we were like, and edible on top of that. And then we were like, man, these tequila shots are just too much. So then we switched to whiskey. So then we started doing shots of whiskey.
Wait, whiskey's better than tequila?
It went down a lot smoother.
Okay. I bet it did after 45 shots of tequila.
Right.
Girl. It was a
you
mess.
could be drinking Gatorade and gasoline, and it would be going down like that. It went down smooth.
Right? It's like, oh, we just switched from tequila to whiskey. And then you had vodka and Red Bull in your system. And well, that's why you hurting today.
Yeah.
Mixed everything together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You might as well have done some heroin and knock the whole scene out.
Okay. I mean, with that anxiety from this election, dear Jesus.
And I can't believe I was telling Fizz this too, because we've had it on all day in the background. But like, there also just has to be a better way. I'm just so over the electoral college vote at this point. Like,
everybody is.
Why is not the popular vote at this
Southerners.
point? Like, if we're really saying that every vote matter, like all votes matter at this point, then like it should just be the popular vote. Like, that's all that should matter at this point.
Until the Democrats probably get the majority of the House and the Senate and the presidency at the same time again.
That will never change.
It's not gonna change. Like the last time they even attempted to vote for it, I like a nerd, obviously. I saw a Vox special the other day, and they said it was like 1967 or something like that, and they actually had the votes until like a couple white Southerners were like, "Hold on, no, we don't want this," and they like rallied their people to like vote against it again. Like literally, it went up to the vote. They had the numbers to literally make it the popular vote, and then some white men said, "Hold on, no, we don't want to do this," because they knew
Not surprised.
it would shift the tide more towards Democratic and things like that. Because the Electoral College was just created because of slavery. That's where the 3/5 a person came from. Because the northern states wanted the popular vote. The southern states, out of the original 13, didn't want a popular vote because they knew the northern states didn't want slavery. So the compromise was the 3/5 a person to count your slaves. Or no, it was the North didn't want slaves to be counted or something like that because it would have like shifted the number. The southern states did, so that's when the 3/5 of a person came in and all that stuff. So that's literally where the Electoral College started, was because of slavery. So here it is in 2020. Still with the slavery system.
Right.
Bamboozled.
What do you guys think? So by the time this episode comes out, where do y'all think we'll be? Because community, we're recording on the Wednesday, so the day after the election. And so nothing has been announced or anything of the sort like that yet.
Not yet.
You know.
We'll keep an eye on it throughout this episode. But as of now, Wisconsin's gotten called. Michigan was called. We thought Nevada and Arizona was already called, but they haven't.
Arizona is called.
No, Arizona isn't called yet. Because they're doing another at
that's right.
9 p.m.
Yeah. Because they're at 80.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're 84% of the vote.
So, I mean, at this point, the votes where they're still counting is a quote unquote more Democratic area, because it's like the Reno and Vegas of the state in Nevada, and like the more populated areas of Arizona. But we need both of them. If we use both of them, game over. It will literally be 270 to like 268 or something like that. Yeah. So then obviously old boy has already started to sue every damn state. But
I mean, his one argument is valid, though. His one argument is valid. So the main argument that they're going to go is, how come, places like Minnesota and Wisconsin and Michigan, can get their votes out like this, but places like Arizona and Nevada take so long? Like, they're going to argue the method in voting and say that that's...
like in 1972.
Well, I know.
And that's a state issue. That's not a federal issue. It's a state issue because the elections are mandated by the state.
By the state.
So they can be different, and they are different by design. That's how the Constitution works.
And here's the thing, like even back in 2016, he was talking about fraud and all this shit. So you had 4 years to do some shit then. You was president.
Oh, he did.
Well, yeah. I mean, he didn't do anything. He just placed doubt in people's heads. That's what he did. Because it's the same shit. So if you had an issue with the system, you was president and you had the majority of the Senate with bitch McConnell doing all this shit, you could have changed some stuff. But now that it looks like you might lose, now you want to play some fear and some doubt again? No, playboy.
That's bitch ass whiteness. That's all that is.
That part.
That's bitch ass whiteness.
So even
I'm
as
also-
legit as the thing is, it might be, like we need to probably have a standardized process across the board.
I think
4 years
so.
to do it. Say again.
Yeah. I think so too. I honestly think that there should be a standardized process. Like the fact being that, the election was yesterday and we are in day 2, and some places probably won't have votes in until tomorrow, which is Thursday. Like that's 3 days. Like that's a long time. I'm glad that, at least they're saying they're being thorough, which is why it's taken so long. But I don't know. I just feel like this should be the smoothest thing we should be able to do in our country when it comes to voting. It should be the smoothest thing, but it's not.
I mean,
America herself is messy.
And I mean, obviously with the mail-in votes too, obviously I'm sure certain states probably had more than others. And you literally, I was saying this to a friend earlier, I was like, that's a sketch waiting to happen to me. Like this pressure, you like a person open the envelope, getting paper cuts and shit, trying to hurry up and count these votes. Like,
Yeah.
So it's just like, I'm sure the people, like the pressure, you over here getting like sweaty armpits and everything because people hovering down, the nation is literally waiting for you to open up all these damn envelopes, so I that part I don't know how, unless they allow them to start counting before. Some states allow you to count before, others don't. You literally have to wait day of, and if you have 1 million votes, like what the fuck do you think is gonna happen? You're like, it's like we're not gonna be counting 1 million votes in a day. That's not possible.
Right.
So I don't know what the process is, but all I gotta say is you have 4 years as president to fix this shit. Then
why can't we vote with our phones? Like we've been talking about that for like ever.
Yeah.
If you can submit your taxes online, you should be also able to submit your vote online and just
That's a very
be
good
done.
point. That's a really good point.
Yeah. We do the census online. We do the taxes online.
Yeah.
But for some reason, we have to not get off. We have to like not have a national day off to do this. We have to go stand in line or get a piece of paper to mail it in so that it can get counted, hopefully on the day of or a couple of days later when you can just boop, boop, boop on your phone and be done.
I will give it to Georgia this go round though, because they replaced all their systems this year or last year? No, this year was the first time in the primary. Because the one that I voted for like the last few times was like an old like 1992 MS-DOS looking computer. So at least they updated the systems where it was like a current computer, then it prints it off. That's how you double check your vote that the computer didn't print something crazy off. Then you feed it into this other like kind of casting vote machine. But obviously, the next thing they're gonna say is hackers. Like, okay, the hackers are gonna hack your phones and things like that. I mean, they can hack the computer systems too. So,
right. Yeah. And how many videos did we see of like mailmen taking all the mail that has all the votes and throwing them away in the trash and burning them and shit like that? So,
wait, you saw
there's
them
always
taking out the trash and burning them.
Yeah. You haven't seen it? Yeah. I mean, it's no matter what, there's always going to be people that are going to look for ways to circumvent the system. But that doesn't mean that we should stop like progress. Like if everything is going paperless, first of all, why are we using paper? Just from an environmental perspective, but second of all, just from an ease of access perspective, we should be able to do this shit online, whether you have a phone or not.
Like how does Canada and Germany and England, like, are they still as...
They're probably so advanced, they just blink their eyes and it's counted.
You think so? like South Korea and these countries, like how are they doing it? I don't know. Community, do you know? Yeah. And I don't feel like looking it up on Google. I'm playing with my wig. Right?
You're playing with your wig.
I'm booked and busy. But
yeah, I don't know. I think by the time this episode comes out, it will still be a hot ass mess in the sense of like, we'll have a winner by that time. However, whoever didn't win is going to be fighting it.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be like Al Gore and Bush. Like, that one took like a whole another month before we knew. It was like mid-December before we knew that one. And then this is this crazy thing, and it's playing into the hands of Trump the way he set it up, because that's why he wanted to get the majority in Supreme Court so he could take it all the way up there, and the odds go a little more in his favor of them potentially ruling in his favor. Hopefully not. Hopefully they have some bit of integrity, but I ain't putting shit by nobody.
Same here.
I was talking
And I'm
with
also
a friend of
about the
mine who
Senate.
said that
Yeah.
a friend of mine was saying that Barrett had recused herself from anything related to the voting already.
Good.
So that's not a factor.
So now it's like an even
It's even.
So it's 4-4 right now? Or no, it'd be 5-3 right now. Right.
It'll be 5-4.
She would be,
because it's 6-4 now with her, so it'll be 5-4.
Yeah.
It can't be 6-4 because it's an even number.
That's an even number.
Oh.
So it's 9 with her. So it'd be 5-3 without her.
Yeah,
right.
5-3.
Because Ruth died.
Yeah.
Because they already had the majority before she died.
With
so yeah. But it's crazy. Like I don't even know how. Well, I do know, but I don't know why it's this close. Like, why are 50 million people still voting for oh boy?
Like, I saw an article that said in 2016, 52% of white women voted for Trump. In 2020, 55% of white women voted for Trump. So all this bullshit about, like, I don't want to say it's bullshit, but like, it's just so hard to get behind white women when you fuck it up for yourselves. I'm mad. I'm just mad. Like, damn, like, out of all the people who should be like not voting for him, women, especially white women, especially, should be the ones that are like the rallying cries. Like, we're all them chicks who were like, oh shit, what's
like
the
Me Too's and grabbing them by the pussy?
I was like, ooh, I don't know why Act Up was stuck in my. Oh, that's because I was watching that documentary, but but the Act Up of the women's, which is the Me Too's,
right?
But like, where's all that energy? Where's all that energy when you got somebody talking about grabbing people by the whats?
I don't know. And why did it increase by 3 percentage points like that?
What I also don't understand is I'm gonna save it for later because it's part of the Ask Your Auntie. So I'm gonna save that piece for later. I'm just gonna save that.
But again, it looks like it's coming down to the black vote again. Like, so black people, we got so much more power than we give ourselves credit, because they ain't gonna give us credit. Like, literally, I posted on Instagram that the chaplain or whatever is that what they're called? Like, the people overseeing the counting in Detroit, and like, people are literally, like, Trump supporters were literally outside of the voting area, like, hounding them and chanting like, this vote doesn't count and things like that. There's no law, no rule, no nothing that says we have to know who the president is the night of the election. Like, that's like some crazy unheard of thing that seems to be picking up steam in recent years. Like, this is not the first election that we didn't know the president by the end of the night. But anyway, they were chanting like, "Oh, stop counting, da 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 da," and he got out there and said, "Hold on, I want to quote him because he said it so powerfully." Oh man, where is it at? I sent it to the group too. Maybe that's easier. He said, "We are not deterred. The black vote in Detroit is higher than it's ever been, and we will determine the outcome because we've gone from picking cotton to picking presidents."
Okay.
And I said, "That's bitch. That's what I'm talking about." He's like, I ain't stunned these. This is what he said. I ain't stunned these fools. Like, we gonna count these votes because our ass is still in this damn line. That's what we're gonna do. How about that? And guess what? It's gonna be for Biden, so sit your ass down somewhere. That's what he really wanted to say. But he said that a little more poetically than I would have. Because it would have been some side heads and some smacking. Or maybe it's just the way that's got me smacking a little more, but no, the pressure, and then you just saw like the Trump supporters blocking roads, and people are acting extra bold on social media, and it's just like, ooh, y'all mad.
I just don't understand how, like, the right calls like liberals the radical left. Like, all we're trying to get accomplished is so that we don't have to go into bankruptcy to get health care, so that we can get a decent education, college level or, trade education without, again, going into bankruptcy,
That gays can stay married, that trans women could get the medicines and things that they need and be truly who they are.
Right. But meanwhile, what are they doing? They're using like arcany.
Yeah.
That's not the word. Is that the word? Arcany?
I think so. I'm sure Smithy will let us know.
Oh my God. My brain. She ain't working. She ain't working. I have nothing left.
Right.
That's it.
Or you mean anarchy?
Anarchy. That's what it is. That's what
anarchy.
It is.
I got you, girl.
Anarchy.
Anarchy.
They're using these tactics, anarchy, right?
Wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Could you use it in sentence, please?
Right.
Alexa.
Anarchy. I
can't. Shut up, Smithy. I hear every time we do anything like that, I hear Smithy getting that DM like, damn it.
But no, all I'm trying to say is that, the things that are being attributed, that are wrongly attributed to the Democratic Party and those that are leftists, are, from rightists that are using these extreme tactics like, oh, we're just going to go ahead and block the highway.
Yeah, really? That's
okay.
Yet they get mad when protests happen and riots occur and things like that.
Right.
And
say that.
Not mad when their old boys want to brandish their guns and then, walk through the streets talking about white power.
That part. And then cops helping them along too in a lot of these instances.
Oh, but if a black person wants to kneel, to raise attention, kneeling, you got a problem with that. So
hush up. It's a lot. It's a lot. But it's interesting. It's always election night that makes me realize again, even though I know it, that a lot of these news cable shows, and I'm not going to go against the media because that's their job. And there's a lot of great journalists out there. But obviously the CNNs, the Fox Newses of the world, MSNBCs, they are a business. So their job is to have some sort of news, whatever it may be, 24/7, because that's what the channel is. So it's just I always get upset when people kind of be like, oh, the media. However, that's their job. But I get what they're saying because I watch the election night stuff and you almost get anxiety because they have to fill the hour each and every hour, So I was just
if you really listen to a lot of what they're saying, they rehash so much stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just okay, Anthony, can you walk us through what it's like opening up the envelope?
Key race alert. Key race alert.
But before we do that, we're gonna check the polls in Iowa.
Right.
Too close to call. We're gonna check the polls in Michigan. It's too close to call. They do this for a whole 15 minutes, and then we're like, okay, back to you. How's that envelope coming?
Right.
I'm just taking the seal off. Oh, we're getting some news in from it. It's just
Key race alert. I'm like, how many? So literally we turned it up. Corey was already decorating for Christmas. So that was how he was dealing with his anxiety and nerves. He's like, you know what, let me just bust this out and decorate this house. So literally we turned the TV off, had Christmas music going and all that stuff because you weren't getting much information and we knew we weren't going to know who the president was that night. So I was like, there ain't much you're going to tell us. The only one I was really kind of curious for at the beginning was Florida, just to see how close it was going to be. Because for some reason, Florida is able to get their ballots in and out quick, it seems like. Other than that, I was like, the rest of the shit, we're not going to know. We're really not going to know for a couple of days. So
I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. I was a little hopeful that we would see a turn of events coming tonight. I was hopeful that we would see, just a big blue wave happening so that it would just crush any concept of the possibility of refuting any of the votes. And as the night came on and then I ended up going to sleep and I woke up in the morning and I was like, damn, we right where we left off. I was just that's when the conspiracy theorist in me starts kicking in Do they already know what it is, and then the news is just dragging this out because they know they got a captive audience and they running them ratings up?
What it is right now? Right. Yeah, like I literally had dreams about the election. That's like that's how I knew I must have been stressed. Whenever I know my stress level must be up, I end up dreaming some variation of it. And it was weird how it came about. Like, I remember in the dream I was talking to my band teacher, which is weird. So like I know I had posted like a marching band thing the other day, so I think that was just in my brain conscious. And I was talking to him about the election and how racist like the situation was and the systemic racism of it and things like that. And he was like giving me advice and things like that. So I don't know why my brain went to him per se. And I'm not sure if it just went back and if it like meant like me where I grew up in small town Michigan, where it is pretty racist at times. Well, not even at times, a lot of times. But so I don't know if that was like my body just kind of like making this full circle. It was weird, but like I literally woke up like, damn, I must be stressed about this because here I am literally waking out of my sleep in the morning, dreaming about the election and systemic racism and things like that. So I'm like, this is crazy.
I had like last night, I could not sleep at all. I probably woke up at like 2:00 and was just like in and out all night. Yeah. But I had like one of those symbolic dreams that just doesn't make sense at all. I don't know like how you guys dream, but like.
But we talked about my dreams already.
Yeah, we should. Community, if you didn't catch that episode, I think that was like 3 or 4 episodes ago.
Rewind.
So good. Y'all be beating up people in your dreams. So, stay clear of them when they sleep. But yeah, no, I agree with you, Dawon, that it part of me knew better. But the other part was like the hope, you know, like you're still hopeful that people be like, damn, this is fucking up a lot of people's lives, you know? And that wasn't the case. They said, like, I have a friend that he lives in England, and he came and right after high school, he came to play soccer here in the States. And now he lives back in England again. So he was here maybe 3 or 4 years. He was hitting me up and he's like, what are you guys doing? Like, he's like, why is it this close? And I was like, because this country literally was built on it. It was literally built on this. And it's literally, they're digging their heels in. They don't want to give this up. You know, they don't want to give up this, whatever this status quo is. They're comfortable in it. So of course they're going to do whatever they can to keep the status quo. And it's sad to hear. And he was like, yeah, he's like, honestly, he's like, England's the same. And I was like, I know that because we came from y'all. So like, we just do a new improved version of it. You know,
the 2.0.
Right. Seriously. It's like, we took y'all blueprint and said, oh, this is what we're going to do to make it even harder for everyone that's not white to succeed in the country.
What do you think? What do you think it would take? What do you think it would take for like states like California, all the way up the coast, New York tri-state area, and maybe that's it.
Maybe like Illinois,
maybe Illinois, because I mean it's pretty red.
Chicago might break itself off.
Right, it's just Chicago. Like, what do you think it would actually take for, you know, those states to band together to like say, you know what, we're self-sufficient. Our import-export is on point. We've got enough capital to be able to support ourselves. Our government is pretty self-sufficient. Succeed for the nation.
Oh, man. I think it would be California before anyone else. They've almost kind of threatened it. And honestly, a lot of our laws come from California. California is always the guinea pig. They always vote propositions in. The next thing you know, the rest of the states kind of follow. Like marijuana. You know, like obviously some states, Colorado and things like that, also were like the front line of that. But that's probably the biggest winner of this election. All these states voting marijuana in now, which I hope a lot of these states also expunge a lot of these records out there, because it's going to be the Black and brown communities. So like all them years we were trying to make money off the same drug that's now legal, we got a lot of forgiving to do. So, but that's a whole nother topic. But I would say California would, if it were to ever happen, California would be the one to lead the way before
would you
like
move
New
there?
York or something.
Would you move there? Yeah.
I would have to see what they're talking about. Like obviously, if you succeed from the country, is it succeed? No, it's succeed.
SUCCE.
Yeah.
ED.
Woo, we struggling there with these words. From the country, I gotta see what you're talking about now. Like, what are your new rules? What are your new laws? Is it better? Is it worse? Things like that. But yeah, I check it out because this country crazy.
I would do it. I would do it in a heartbeat. I'd be like, you know what? Bye.
Like, we're removing
Like,
Calabasas.
I don't care. I don't care. Like, let me turn my old passport in. Give me the new California passport because it'll be made out of vegan leather. It'll be like iridescent, and it would like as soon as it's like the day after it expires, it would turn into like a butterfly.
Right.
It would be so sustainable.
It's a butterfly in the redwoods of Sonoma.
Like, ooh, well, looks like I gotta get my new passport.
Right. It's so true. But yeah, like.
What about you, Boo? What do you think?
I would do it. I would do it too. I'm just at this point. I'm ready to go anywhere else at this point. So.
Right.
Like I already told Fez, I was like, but I ain't playing. We get married. I'm getting that Kosovo citizenship, bitch. Like,
do they recognize? Do they recognize same-sex marriages in Kosovo?
Yeah, they just passed, I think, last year.
Oh, did
That's
they?
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, I don't know. But here's the thing, like. I'm assuming the odds seem to be a little more in favor for Biden winning. So by the time you just get out, we could say you're about to lose your job. Hey, but
yes,
there's still a lot of work to do because Mitch McConnell just got reelected, so he's going to make it so hard to get anything passed in the Senate for the next 4 years. So we still have a lot of fighting to do, especially here in Georgia. Like we're still fighting for Senate seats. One of them is for sure going to a runoff in January. So everybody listen to this in Atlanta and Georgia, things like that. Come January, we got some more voting to do because in the state of Georgia, if you don't get 50% of the vote, if no one gets 50% of the vote, it goes to a runoff of the top two candidates or the top two people that got the most votes.
And they vote in February?
January. Yeah. So literally, we'll be voting again because I think when's the first session for the new Senate is like January 3rd or something.
January, like that. It's like the day after a day or two after.
I think voting is somewhere around that time because so they could get into the new session, and then so that's one seat. That's Raphael Warnock. He's like one of the pastors at Ebenezer Church here in Atlanta. That's the MLK church. So. We got to fight for him, black man. Let's get it in. John Ossoff here. It looks like right now he's down a couple of percentage points. And Perdue, who's a Republican, is right over the threshold of 50%. But they're thinking if additional more votes come in, it might drop the percentage down below the 50% again if John's goes up. We're watching that one. I know Arizona with Kelly, the astronaut. It looks like he's probably going to win. So it looks like we might have gained a seat in the Senate. But Mitch McConnell's going to make.
We needed three.
We needed three.
We needed three.
Might get one or two.
We need three.
So it's just like we have a lot of work. We have a lot of work ahead of us.
A lot of work.
And they're going to dig their heels in even more. Come again, even in 4 years, they're going to be like, okay, how do we regroup and come even harder next time? So like, don't get lax, don't get comfortable. Got to make sure Biden and Kamala do the things they need to do as much as they can with the
hold them accountable as well. Like,
so it's just like, yes, pop you some bubbly if you need to for a day or two,
or some Henny,
some shots, something to calm your ass down for a second. But we gotta get right back in there after the holidays.
I have to say though, this is. I'm glad that we're finally at this point because we've been building up to this for such a long ass time. And we're finally here. And, I was just talking to one of my coworkers today about, the fact that I'm just ready for a decision to be made. You know what I mean? So that we can deal with it. It's the not knowing that's, at least for me personally, that's driving me absolutely bonkers. So I just need the decision. So then it's like, okay, now we know what the situation is. Now we can build what the next steps look like. But
I'm ready for the next phase.
This whole like being in this limbo, it's almost kind of like, when you text a new boo, it's like, hey, I'm thinking about you. Are you thinking about me, and then you see them 3 bubbles, and then they disappear.
And then it stop.
It's kind of like that right now.
It's like, he don't love me. He don't love me.
And then all that shit started going through your head. You know? It's like, we in that mode right now. We saw the bubbles, and then it disappeared. A mess.
But yeah,
I got a non-election question for you. If you're up for this.
Yes. Get my mind up to election for a second.
What old school throwback Black sitcom that you absolutely love, or whatever, that you would love to see a reboot of?
Chappelle Show, because it's back on Netflix right now. I want another season of Chappelle Show to see his mind on today's shit, even though a lot of it's literally the same topics he did 15 years ago. I always just trust his mind. So it'd be dope to be like, out the blue. I think the world would go crazy to be like, if you saw a promo pop up on like your email right now said, Chappelle Show, new season, December 12th. You'd be like, what, bitch? Bitch, what? So I know that's not a sitcom, but that's what I need in my life right now. Like, I'm about to re-binge all of Chappelle Show on Netflix right now.
It'll be Living Single for me.
Yeah.
I think that's the only one that I would really get behind, really watching a reboot. Everything else is just so classic. I just like them as is, and I can rewatch them for the most part. But the only one I would love to see a remake of would be Living Single.
That would be hot.
That's a good
that's so believable too, because you could place that in any, you could place with any characters in at any decade, and it'll, I mean, if the casting's right, you know, it just work.
Yeah,
just work. I was thinking about this, and I was just like, I don't know what I would want to, what I really want to see though.
Are there any Black shows you're watching right now?
I finished Lovecraft County.
Oh, I need to finish that still.
Which is just so good.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else is Black that's I'm watching that I haven't watched already? It's not Black, but I've been watching Star Trek Discovery, and they have like a Black kind of like captain or whatever, and it's so damn good. That and The Mandalorian, oh my god, it's so goddamn good.
Came out, right?
Just came out, yeah, and it's only one. They're only releasing one episode at a time. So when it first came out, they released 3 episodes at a time. So you got a good almost 2 hours of just a block.
Yeah,
and it's shot so beautifully. The storytelling is so cool, and you get to see Baby Yoda, so that's so cute.
Baby Yoda. Yeah, I don't know. I don't be watching TV like that. I'll be watching YouTube, and that's about it. So
the only show that I'm currently watching is Blackish. That's the only show that
I need to go.
Are you still enjoying
I do.
Blackish?
I do actually. Because what's her name?
Tracy Ellis Ross.
Tracy.
I love her. I love her so much in the show. Like she's my favorite. But then also Andre's mom. I forget her.
Jennifer Lewis.
Jennifer
Lewis. Yes, Jennifer Lewis. I love her on the show.
She's a mess.
She is a mess. She is a mess.
You will love her. She blew up her husband's boat, chased him around with a butter knife.
She has the best one-liners, and they'll be like, "I feel you. I feel you." Like, I love her so much. So.
Yeah, I haven't watched Blackish in years now. It seems like I watched like the first season.
The kids are growing up, like you actually see them like growing up and stuff like that, and they're coming into their own as like young actors and actresses. You know, like it's good. Like and it's I like it as well because the story really is. I don't feel like it's a. When it first came out, I felt like some of the story was more digestible for white people. And I feel like the stories are now more digestible for black folks. Yeah, it's a lot more black in that matter. Like even how they talk to the kids somehow and stuff like that. Like the, you know, like just the inside jokes and everything. It's more
identifiable. You're like, oh, I've had that situation before.
Absolutely.
That's good.
So
I honestly, I really like that show. I'm starting to get us, like when shows get to be so rhythmic. You know, like you catch what the rhythm is, that, you know, every single episode is gonna it's gonna play out in this kind of way. For me, it gets boring. That's how it was with like, you know, Modern Family. Like after I was like, it's the same goddamn thing. Like, you know, and one of the things that I liked about, like, let's say, like, I feel like they like Blackish is like the new school of like the Cosby Show, right? But I think one of the things that the Cosby Show did really well was, as the kids got older, they made whole episodes just about the kids. So it wasn't always the family in your face the entire time, which I feel like I would love to see Blackish take a little bit of that on. Like you see some storylines, but it's mostly centered around, you know, basically Bo and the father.
Andre, yeah.
Yeah. I would love to be able to see like whole episodes dedicated to one particular character, you know, and not have to have the entire family in there, because I just feel like there's so many things that they could explore with that. But yeah, they still.
And see, I'm the opposite, and see, that's why I enjoy it, because I like seeing the full dynamic of the family. You know, like for me growing up, I felt like if you was just to see my mom's story, you would never understand me. You know, like.
Right.
And so that's kind of what I like about the show. They do a much better job now than they did at the beginning too, because you're right. It was so much more of around Dre and Bo, but now not so much anymore. Like the children have their own storylines, and like even when they gave Grownish, you know, the spinoff towards the older daughter, you know, like really branching off. They do a good job.
Does she
now.
come back on Blackish at all?
Yeah, Grownish. Yeah, she comes back on Blackish. Yeah, she does.
Every once in a while, but it's not like she's a regular cast member.
No, they normally, she's not a regular cast member, but they have her in it. Basically, when Grownish is off, she is in episodes and Blackish. And so they come out during different seasons. So, like, Grownish is more like during the summertime, you know? So
I think she's so pretty. What's her name? Yara Shahidi? Yara Shahidi?
Yara Shahidi.
It's Yara Shahidi. Yeah, Shahidi.
Yara Shahidi.
I think she's. They're probably gonna loop that and go Yara Shahidi, Yara. Anyway, I think she's so pretty.
I feel like it's like we all took an edible and not telling each other.
Right.
I know our energy's our energy's a little often. Hey, I think it's just because we had guests for so damn long weeks in a row that we're getting back into the steez of just a whole episode of us, you know.
I don't know.
And plus it's election.
I think it's that.
Yeah, the election.
Because we've had, when we, like, the last couple of times, it was just, I don't know why I'm waving this brush around.
You look like a mama too. He was like,
don't make me have to wrap my hair up.
Bitch, right, that part.
But like when we get back together after the guest,
that is true.
But I do feel like right now it's just a special moment in the history of the universe and the world that we are living in right now.
Like there was nothing, there was literally nothing on my mind besides this.
And there was nothing going on around, nothing going on. There was like, you know.
The entire world is watching us right now.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So literally I haven't looked at nothing else. Like even at work today, like this work's been busy as hell this week, but I'm just like, it's been so hard to concentrate and get this shit done that I need to get done because there is nothing else that matters to me right now. You know? And then for it to be this close, like we said, I'm just like, this is a lot right now. This is a
what's funny? What's funny is work-wise how people are walking on eggshells because you're not supposed to, like, the one thing that you can't really be talking about at work is politics. But then you always have, like, I believe most of the people that I work with on a day-to-day basis have the same political affiliation that I do. And you hear some of these things kind of coming out, but it's just like on every single call, you know, we Zoom. Every single Zoom today, because I had 6. 11 a day. Girl, 11 damn Zoom calls a day. It's ridiculous. But at any rate, you know, everyone, it's the same thing. You start off with your little greetings like, hey, how are you doing? And then it's like, hanging in there.
Right. I know, like, my manager today, we had a team call today, and she's like, how's everyone doing? How's the weather out there? I'm like, girl, you know how we doing. It's a damn election. She had to think real quick or something else. She was like, oh, wait, hold on. She goes, oh, is the weather nice like how it is here in Charlotte? I was like, yeah, girl, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Them awkward silences be on
exactly.
And
it's on Zoom, so you're like trying to control your face. I'm like, yeah, that's nice. Bitch, I don't care about the damn weather. Oh, boy's almost elected.
Right.
Again. Which I think she probably voted for him, but that's a whole other thing.
It's less than a 1% difference right now in Georgia.
I think it's like 40,000 votes or something like that.
Yeah, right now Trump's at 49.8 and Biden's at 49.0. That's less than a 1%.
Which is huge. Like even if he does not get Georgia, that gives you hope for the future that, okay, we could do some shit in the future again with Georgia. Because you've never been able to say that, as I'm shaking my head, never been able to say that in the history of this state. It's been so red the entire time of this country that over time is starting to steady go a little more blue. And I just put that on Facebook today. I was like, I can't believe I'm saying this.
Damn.
Okay, more people come to Atlanta, even though traffic sucks like crazy. Because we're starting to see, because before, I think even the last election, you saw like the Cobb County and Fulton County highly blue. Now this election, you saw maybe 2 or 3 more counties even outside of those.
Oh, yeah.
Blue.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay. As more people might be leaving the city and going more toward the burbs, but still wanting to be around Atlanta. I'm like, okay, this is having an effect on the burbs now of Atlanta, which it wasn't like that before. Like literally you live here, people say the perimeter, like you either inside the perimeter or you outside the perimeter. And inside the perimeter is 285. And if you inside it, that's a blue little circle, a little dot. And now this election, looking at the tallies, I'm like, hold on, there's some counties outside the perimeter now that are blue, which has never happened.
And who the hell is Jo Jorgensen? She got 60,000 votes. She got 1.2% of the votes. We could have used them.
Literally, that's like, what was old girl last cycle? Jill something that took a lot of the votes from Hillary.
Don't ask me for no names, girl.
Yeah,
I'm like trying to write my brain for a name. You know, I can't remember a name for nothing.
Jill Greenstein or something like that. So I think that every election, I'm like, bitch, who you voted for? They ain't gonna win.
Yeah, you just throwing your vote away.
It's like, I know it's your vote, but bitch, why?
But do it the right way.
Exactly. Oh man! All right, we might as well hop into the Ask Your Aunties. We're still on the topic. So, what time is it?
Okay.
Ask your aunties. She gave us that extra your.
She had to catch up.
Oh, let's see here. And this one actually came in, like we kind of jumped the line, but we figured this one was timely, and if we didn't answer it now, we would never answer it.
Yeah.
So the question was,
the political ones from like a couple years ago, still sitting in there.
And I mean, honestly, and it's all relevant. Honestly, I think this question today, kind of encompasses a lot of the questions that we still had in the queue, honestly.
Yeah.
This one came from Brandon, and it came from a post we put up there, and it says, can you still love someone who voted for Trump? Can you still respect someone who voted for Trump? I think most of us would probably answer no, but the truth is that people who voted for Trump and or who have different political ideologies than you or me still exist around us. They are our neighbors, bosses, colleagues, dentists, etc. And while it's easy for us to cut people out for not believing in the same thing we believe, is it really okay to shame someone for not having identical values? Would you stop going to your primary care physician if you found out he or she or they was a Trump supporter?
Yes.
That's a lot. There were like 15 questions in there. Yeah. Which one do we answer first?
Honestly,
maybe the first one. Can you still love someone who voted for Trump? Can you still respect someone who voted for Trump?
No, that's my answer. It's a big old no, because at this point, it's like, if you can't, I think it's okay to accept that if they're choosing what they believe and what benefits them, then it's okay for you to do the same for yourself. And if choosing to remove people out of your life who are literally seeking out to support others who are harming you, then absolutely, like, be done. You could be done with it. That is more than okay. Like, I'm so tired of people being like, you need to reach across the aisle. Fuck the goddamn aisle, okay? Because it's a two-way street. They could be reaching across, and they're the ones who really should be reaching across the aisle, especially if their mindset is to harm marginalized groups of individuals. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So it shouldn't be up to the person who's on the right side of history to be having to teach someone else or be concerned about someone else and what they're doing. You can find a new job. You can find a new dentist. You can find a new primary physician. You can find a new neighbor. You can replace people. Look.
She answered all the questions.
All of them.
No, she's having to go right down the line.
I'm not here for it anymore at this point.
Have you found someone recently that you didn't know was a Trump supporter that was in your circle or your life, and you're like, oh damn, I did not know he, she, they were a Trump supporter?
So it's not necessarily that I didn't know. I mean, you guys are from the Midwest too. So we all have those people that we grew up with, or like, like in our early 20s, college, whatever, we were kicking with. They were like, oh my God, we just have so many good memories with you. Like you real people, like, blah, 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 blah. But then as you get older, you start seeing, okay, like the other things that add up, that's
True
part of them that you didn't like.
Yeah.
And so there's been a lot of people who, like, I know, for instance, like back in Minnesota, who live in these small towns, or in Wisconsin. And, although I know them from like volleyball or softball or some other sport or college, and they have been nothing but kind and respectful towards me. I can't be your Negro. That's not how this works. Like, I'm done being someone's Negro. Like, if you don't like me and my people, you don't get me. It's just that simple. So
what if it was your mama?
Bye. Yep. Like, I mean, look, here's the thing. I have a completely different relationship.
You can say that
100. I'm 100% with you, because I have a completely different relationship with both my parents. And I said this to Fizz too. I'm like, I don't even let my mama and my daddy talk to me sideways. I'd be damned if I let somebody else talk to me sideways. So no one, the only person on this earth who gets to get out of jail free card when it comes to me and my mouth and my attitude is my grandma. Other than that, everybody can catch it.
So what if it was your grandma? Can you still love your grandma?
You know what? Look, I'm gonna be grandma, you messing up. I'm gonna have to sit grandma down. I'm gonna have to, at some point, I'm gonna have to open the Bible and figure out how to, because she goes to church every day. She's a Christian woman. So I'm gonna have to, figure out a way to get her on the same level, get her on the right side of the tracks. She's the only person that can get that energy. Everyone else.
Like, what if it was like your nephew or your sister or...
Deuces.
He said deuces.
Deuces.
He said Chris Brown.
Deuces.
This is not that clear for me. I'll just be 100% honest. Even though, I understand the impact that vote makes. It's just not that clear cut. Adam and I had this conversation earlier today. Like, I believe that everybody is entitled to have their own belief systems, but I also, believe that, like how you treat somebody, says a lot about the relationship that you have with them. So, while I do believe that, kind of I attribute a vote for Donald Trump as a vote against me. Mm-hmm. That might not be their mindset. I know tons of people that have been longtime Republicans, and I don't actually have a problem with Republicans from a political perspective. Now, these Republicans that have politicized their party, to be divisive and discriminatory, that's a totally different conversation. But just in the binary of, Republican and Democrats, I don't have an issue with people that are historically Republican, because the ideology of being a Republican is small, big government, and then bigger local government, and then more of an investment in your military. So and fiscal responsibility, but they haven't been about any of those things in a long time. So
a whole long time.
But there are those people that they're voting that particular interest. So if you are a small-time business owner, and you recognize that if you vote a certain kind of way, you'll get taxed significantly less or whatever, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're also attributing that same vote to all the potential harm that it's going to do to the Black and brown and the other people, you know, that could be potentially negatively impacted by that same vote. You know, having said that, I still cuss people out, you know, and I say, fuck you, fuck your mama, fuck your daddy, fuck everything about you for voting for this particular guy,
this particular
right?
human being,
But
exactly.
that doesn't mean that the love that I have, if it's somebody that I love, you know, like a family member, you know, or even a friend, you know, that doesn't mean that I just cut off that love. It's hard.
It ain't unconditional in my book. Fuck it. It's earned. It is straight up earned. It's a two-way street. Like, and I understand what you say. Like, I don't want people to think that I wouldn't be bothered by it. Like, the decision, I would cut people off. I would be sad. It would hurt, you know. However, if a person can choose themselves, it's okay for you to choose you. At some point, you have to choose yourself. At some point, you do.
I totally agree with that.
You know,
yep,
and that's where I come from. You know, like a lot of people don't understand, and like your example, like, you know, small business owner, it's the ripple effect of your vote. Like, a lot of people don't understand that you may be voting for this one particular part as a Republican, but the ripple effect that one vote has is huge and it's harmful. And if you can't just simply understand that means you simply don't understand, nor do you know me. At that point, what do we have to talk about? If you don't know me, why am I wasting my time with you?
Me, yeah. I mean, I'm going through it right now.
What about you, Kerel?
I'm going through it right now. And I always try to watch how much I spill out there on this.
All of it.
No, just because it's
Are you doing?
Say their names. Say it aloud.
No, because I would if it just involved me. But since it involves more than just me, I'm sensitive to it because it creates more issues than necessary. But with that said, there's a certain family member that I've been married into. So that gives you all the tea you need to know there. That anytime I post anything on Facebook about Oh Boy, and let me make this all the way clear. I've said this on the show. I've said this on Facebook. It's about Oh Boy. It's not about Republican. It's not about Democratic. It's about specifically what Oh Boy has reopened so clearly in this country. That you
and people
voting,
get those confused.
They get it so confused, and they keep spitting it back at me, saying, "Oh well, you're Democrat, so you just want to." Again, you've missed my complete point. And you just want that to be your justification. That ain't mine. Don't put that on me. Because I'm telling you exactly what I feel and what I mean. It's Oh Boy. Oh Boy don't care about Republicans. He don't care about Democrats. He doesn't care about the country. Exactly. He doesn't care about the country. He cares about himself.
Right.
And he has been able to market it so well and create this cult-like energy that people are just so blinded by it. And so literally I put something on Facebook today just saying, literally you voting for Trump is condoning this behavior. You're condoning misogyny. You're condoning homophobia. Facts. You're condoning all of this horrible stuff because you voted for him. Like, it's like saying to like an alcoholic, I don't condone your alcoholic, but you know what? I'm going to throw a party with you here. And, oh, you know, here's a beer for you. The fuck out of here. You wouldn't do that. The same lessons that you're trying to get your kids about being this outstanding human being and things like that and not condoning their bad behavior so it continues is the same thing that now you're doing the opposite of by voting for this guy. So that's where I struggle, is because a lot of times, like you said earlier, they might not agree with homophobia. They might not agree with misogyny. They might not agree. They agree, though, that it helps them tax-wise. And so there's a point where you have now put money over relationship. You've put money over love. You've put money over everything.
Literally over people's lives.
And literally that's what I struggle with. And folks don't want to come to terms that's what they do. And they hate being called out on it, you know? And so then that's when it causes this friction. And I'm like, literally what you're telling me is, and I'm trying to watch what I'm saying, but it's like literally everything you just responded back to me with has nothing to do with the greater good of humanity. It's solely you want more money in your pocket. And okay, that's your lane. Cool. But that means I don't have to associate with it. I don't have to do that, because when it comes down to it, you just told me that when push comes to solve, it comes down to money or Kerel, you're going to choose money.
Mm-hmm.
So why do I need that energy? Why do I want to associate myself day in, day out? Doesn't mean I will completely cut you off. And so that's where it kind of gets hard, because it is family and it's bigger than just Kerel. That it's just like, I get that now, like my husband has nieces and nephews and things like that, that you know that you want to be involved with and things like that. So that's when it makes it so much harder. But it's like, it's hard to have conversations. And then also I hate having the conversations on social media. And I always say, especially when it's with people close to me, you don't have to hash it on social media. You got my number, you could call me, you could text me. There's other ways you can respond if you're in your feelings about something that I post.
So can you, get back to the question, can you love someone who voted for Trump?
You can, but it'll be hard. It'll be hard. And then can you respect them? It gets hard, because what you're telling me is you don't respect me fully.
Yeah. I think
so many people do that,
thing
though,
is really
especially
hard.
white women. Especially white women. I know a bunch of people who and a lot of, and I don't want to call people out either.
Right? Exactly.
Say their name. Say it out loud.
I have spoken to a few friends who are white women, and their husbands vote Republican.
Mm-hmm.
And they vote Democrat. And do you
know that for a fact? Because I feel like some people say that shit the shut a conversation down.
No, I know for a fact. I know for a fact. And she's said, that's one of the things they just pretty much don't talk about, and she goes, as long as he is respectful and loves my friends, whether they're gay, black, Asian, whatever, trans, whatever, like as long as he's respecting the people that I care about, then she's like, I don't judge him for that, So then I sat there and I asked her, I was like, so then why not, if you're okay with him because of that reason alone, then why not just tell him or get him to try voting Democratic in general? Like, I don't know. If you can excuse your partner's vote for Trump, then I feel like you're scared. I feel like you're a punk ass, because you should be challenging it, because it's not right. It's not right. And that's just me.
And I just don't get how you could justify some of the stuff he's done. Yes, everybody has skeletons. Yes, everybody has done some stupid ass shit, but he's a habitual human being. So that means that is his nature,
Mm-hmm.
And so like, for folks to find a way to justify either because they've always voted one way, which is dumb, by the way. You should not just always vote for something just because that's what you've always done. That doesn't show growth. That doesn't show like you've researched shit. So that alone bothers the shit out of me, even outside of Trump. But I forget now. Like, see, I'm getting all worked out. I forget where I was going with that. But when it comes to, I guess, going back to the question here, like your primary care and dentists and shit like that, you could replace it. That's easy. There's, I mean, yes, you might love your dentist. Yes, you might like your doctor, but there's more doctors and dentists out there that you can find that are good. I think it's just always harder when it comes to.
That's a choice of where you're spending your money versus where you're spending your quality time.
It's always harder when it
difference.
comes to friends and family. And I just hate that people think it's simplistic of Republican Democrat for me. That bothers the shit out of me, because that feels like you think I'm dumb. Like, I hate that response. I am not that dumb. I research way more than I probably need to. I look into things way more than I probably need to. I am not a dumb human being, so don't do that to me. Like,
I also feel there's a little bit of like cult of personality going on with like this whole Trump thing. Like, I feel like Black people, Latin people, Latinx people, LGBTQ community people, we have our own culture and vibe. And white people got mayonnaise. I mean,
And
they
raisins.
don't have much.
And
They don't
raisins.
have much.
Well,
You know,
they
they have
decided not to
skiing.
have much.
They have. I'm just saying, but they don't culture-wise. They don't
Yeah.
have much.
Yeah, we
Much
said
that
last
anybody
episode.
wants.
Uh-huh.
You know, much that anybody wants. You know, like, oh, you going to the Alps? You going to ski? Okay, bye. Like, meanwhile, you looking at our little TikTok dances. Like, you know, you want what we have. So, and I just feel low key that a lot of these white people want to feel like they are part of something. Like there are all these
like Trump is
movement
part of their
happens.
culture. Then
They exactly
Which
like
he is.
he is, but it's just like they're not recognizing that it's not bringing out the best of them. So then
Right.
it becomes like mob mentality, and then you know people get angry and like you know all this stuff, and it's almost kind of like, oh well, you're not the only one. You minorities over there aren't the only ones who are oppressed. We are oppressed by the Democrats. You know, it's like trying to use that kind of reverse psychology on us in a slight kind of way, but they've drunk the Kool-Aid so much that they're really starting to believe this shit, and it don't make sense. Like you have literally had the upper hand for the entire existence of this fucking nation, right? At least the men have. The women have significantly benefited from their white male counterparts' privilege, right? Even though, yes, they have been marginalized in some capacity, but they then use their own privilege to step on the heels and the backs of all the black and the brown people and everybody else that's not white. So it's like we can't have we can't have all this sympathy out there for y'all, but I do kind of feel like this whole Trumpism thing is kind of like we're now part of a club that we belong to.
That they like to frame that we're against their ideologies
right.
and things like that.
Exactly, because that feels good. It has nothing to do with that.
Because if that's the point, like whenever they say, "Oh, you don't want like the ideology, you don't like people with different political ideologies and things like that," that like the whole point of like people voting Democratic because it's more of a diverse thought and viewpoint. Yeah. So that even that statement is ridiculous because it's just like, hold on, I live in a metropolitan area because I want diversity and different thoughts and ideologies. That's the whole fucking point.
Right.
So to say that I'm mad at you voting for Trump because of it's a different ideology is so fucking stupid.
That's bullshit.
It's bullshit.
We're mad because Trump is a horrible human being that's not even worth the title of being called a human being. Like he's a horrible like plague on this fucking planet. He was when he was here in New York. Nobody liked his ass. He was still broke. He was still running scams. He was still handed millions of dollars from his daddy and ran that shit into the ground. He had 47 bazillion bankruptcies on his place, and he bankrupted the United fucking States. So it's like, what dream are you smoking into? Because it don't exist.
It doesn't. So it's just like literally everyone's just finding ways to justify. Oh boy. And honestly, and I feel like they wouldn't push back as hard either if they believed he was actually a good human being. I don't think they'd be fighting this hard. People don't fight that hard for good human beings, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So they know in their soul that I know he might not be the best. I know that he doesn't treat people well. But my pocketbook is fuller, quote unquote.
They got all up in arms because Obama wore a tan suit, but this motherfucking nigga paid $160,000 to a porn star. He been married and divorced 3 goddamn times. He got a daughter named Tiffany that he don't even bring out and trot out in front of everybody else because he's embarrassed of this motherfucking bitch. Like, this dude is not anything to be proud about, like, at all. He is like the Roseanne Barr of human beings.
It's bizarre. And then, like I'm trying to be quiet because I'm about to get into personal shit now because it's on my spirit. But for the sake of
fuck your marriage up.
Right, exactly. For the sake of my hubby, I'm gonna shut up now. It's hard. It's hard. This is the hardest it's ever been. I've never had to be tested this hard in relationships before.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard on friendships. It's hard on familiar relationships with your family. It's hard on your relationship with your spouse. I mean, it's just it's
hard on the country.
We are learning so much about ourselves.
Yeah. And
how we deal with anxiety, adversity, how we communicate, effectively or poorly or whatever with one another, that, that we haven't flexed these muscles at all, like to most of us.
Not on like a consistent basis like this. Not
exactly.
like all day, every fucking day.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think that's one of the nice things the pandemic has, at least for me, helped me be okay with the idea of being alone. So I think that's another thing that's one thing that has helped me be able to be okay with, letting some of these friendships go. I'm like, I ain't seeing you anyway. Like,
facts.
I'm by myself as is, so guess what?
Me, myself, and I, is all I got in the end. Is what I found out.
No need
No
to
reason
cry.
why.
I'm gonna be my own best friend. Me, myself.
Oh, we should do a TikTok when we finally can get together. We should do like a Destiny's Child like.
Oh, like Saweetie did for Halloween.
She killed those. She killed those looks too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, and by the way,
super
continue to send your Ask Your Aunties AYA at minorityReport.com. DM
Speaking
us.
of music, have y'all listened to Ariana Grande's new album?
I have, and I thought about doing like a review, but I just ran out of time. I ain't had time to do all that. It's an Ariana's album. It's Ariana.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean?
She just has a vibe in the sound now.
That's just
very
kind of like like the like her
R&B-ish.
Yeah, yeah.
But there were a couple songs on it that I feel like pushed herself.
Mm-hmm.
Just sonically a little different than what we're used to. I like that My Hair song. Woo! My Hair is that shit. I like POV.
I love POV. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm trying to remember.
I like 34 and 35.
69.
Yeah.
Are those names of the song?
Yeah. 34 plus 35 is the name of the song. And it took for a lot. You don't know what you do know what she's talking about, but then at the end she finally kind of says it and you're like, oh yeah. That's the title of the song. Safety Net. I like Safety Net.
I like Safety Net.
What's the table? The table one with The Weeknd. I like that one.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, I do like the one
album.
with The Weeknd.
I like
the album. Yeah.
But is it my favorite out the catalog? I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
I don't think there's like outside of Positions. I feel like there wasn't anything that was really like, oh, like this.
Like a bop.
Yeah, there wasn't a bop.
The only bop for me was My Hair. That's the only one that I literally the first time I heard it, I was like, oh, hold on, let me start this shit over because I was like, she's singing on this one.
Yeah. I will say I've listened to the full album probably like 5 times. And it's kind of times.
Wow.
And it's kind of stopped there. However, I do like Sam Smith's new album. Sam Smith's new album is good.
Yeah, I haven't listened to it.
It's very Sam Smith.
Okay. Is it slow?
No, honestly, it isn't.
He's got
really?
Surprised. Yeah, like
because I'm like, I can't do another whole album of slow songs. I'm like, that's why I can't listen to Adele anymore. I'm like, damn, bitch, you gotta bring it up a tempo or two.
It's like, we need some growth, Adele. You better grow.
Right, come on now, get out of the gutter.
He got this song with Labyrinth that he wrote with him that it's just really good, and it starts off with like Mozart or Stravinsky, like one of those like it stars really classical and hella pretty.
Okay. His album is explicit. Okay, Sam, you cussing?
His album was good. His album was really good.
He put some of the other singles
Love
that have been out
Goes.
for a while. Okay.
Yeah, Love Goes is the name of that song. It's them vocals are
Man, he got Burna on this? That's weird. Okay.
And yeah, there's some good songs on there.
The album that I'm going to be listening to next is Tori Kelly's
Christmas album. Look, bitch, I saw that came out like yesterday. And I was like, she just
I know. I was like,
it up in there.
I was like, this election done took my mind off Tori. Damn it.
Look, we putting up our Christmas tree this weekend. Best believe I'm gonna be playing that album. I just know it's gonna be so good.
That's the next one because I saw a preview. Because how I found out it actually came out, even though I knew it was coming out 10:30. Someone was doing a review on Instagram, and I heard like the first 5 seconds of what Christmas song was it? I forget, but she was like singing already. I was like, oh shit, hold on. I was like, I can't watch this on election night. So I was like, okay, I got to be in the mind frame because it's gonna take me all the way out. I know I might do a review. That might be a video. So YouTube or community watch on YouTube. I might do a YouTube for Tori Kelly's Christmas because that little 5 seconds I heard, I was like, this bitch singing.
I've been listening to Anita Baker's Rapture album.
Ooh, that's a good album to listen to
that album is like everything. And I was just like, part of it was just like, I've been in my feelings so much that I needed like just that soulful kind of like spiritualness. And
I get that.
Literally the whole weekend, actually for about the last 5 or 6 days, just on repeat, the whole album. Then my voice then got all hoarse for trying to hit the notes. Oh, you was trying to
sing like Anita.
I mean, the best way that one can.
Ooh, you was trying to sing like Anita. Okay, now.
And like so many of her songs, I don't know the lyrics to.
I guess she'd be mumbling a little bit.
Right, it's because she'd be mumbling her words. It's just that just gets me in my feelings though.
Sweet love. I feel the same. I'm in love. Oh man. See, literally, I forget when we saw the concert. I don't know if the podcast was out by that point or not, but when we saw her in Atlanta, bitch, that's one of the best concerts I've been to. Because it was just so blackety black.
Yeah.
Like it was just so culturally us. And everybody was feeling it, and she was feeling it, and she was loving that we knew all the words. And oh, Lord. Yeah, man. And that's when we ran into
to have seen her.
That's when we ran into Marlo randomly. Corey and I coming out the Fox Theater. We're walking and we're like, this lady. I'm like, oh, she's pretty. And she's like just looking at us. I was like, why is she looking me in my eye? Then I was like, that was Marlo from Atlanta. I was like, she was pretty. She was pretty in person.
Did y'all ever check out Tony Braxton's last album?
Yeah, I think we talked about it on here.
Did we? Yeah, it's good. That's been on repeat again. Yeah, somehow that didn't fell back into my circulation of albums right now. Yeah.
I feel like being locked up in the house, for some reason, I don't do my good listening in the house. It was always the car. Because I guess I just always had like a commute for so long that like that's where I could like just feel it and be all encompassing and everything. And I got to start a new routine of doing that in the house again. Like I did it years ago, but it's harder for me because like I feel like I'm not in one, like I just try not to sit in one spot unless I'm working. And other than that, like I'm up and moving about and things like that. I'm not just sitting with it. And then the car,
I get them concerts.
Sit with it.
I get them concerts started right and early in the morning when I'm brushing my teeth and then hopping in the shower or like that little doohickey.
She got that wig on in the shower.
Have my little concert performance.
She be having that. Like Corey be having the music blaring in the house, like setting up the Christmas. He was listening to like the Carpenter's Christmas and Mahalia Jackson and everything. So he does it probably more than I do in the house. Like, but I think I just gotten so used to being in the car, and that's where I get my good listening in. And
I
get mine when I clean.
We clean,
yeah. For me, that's when I get my listening when I'm cleaning. Yeah, I love to do that. Or also, I love to just like. So, side note: do y'all have like a favorite like game you play on your phone?
I've never been a gamer on my phone.
I have one, but
so I like the game Toon Blast. I play that all the time on my cell phone.
Okay.
But I've can sit for hours and play that game.
What is it?
It's like a little columns type thing where you match the colors and you want to, eliminate certain things off your screen, and you can only do it certain house and stuff like that. But like putting an album on and playing that's my jam. I would sit right there on the couch, park my ass, put an album on, and I'm good to go. Like
I don't even think I got a single game on my phone anymore.
I have a couple, but most of mine are like for like my nieces and nephews. Like
same, mine are too.
Like all of mine have those little you got to re-download.
See?
Yeah. I got about like 20 on my phone for my nephews.
Yeah. No, I don't.
There was a game that I really liked. It's called Mountain something. It was like one of those. It was kind of like a action adventure meets puzzle game. So you had a character that had to like make their way across like this terrain or whatever, and you had to figure out puzzles along the way. And I really just liked it because it was like super modern, super clean, super like just my judge or whatever. And then I beat it and I never wanted to play it again. So I'm like a one and doneer.
Yeah, I only play puzzle games. Puzzle games are the only ones I like to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm checking Twitter just to see if there's any updates. Like, I won't miss nothing. Like, I mean, it's crazy. Like, they're still counting in Nevada. Like, it's too much.
Not with the wig on.
Right.
It's too much.
Come on. Oh my God. But yeah, I don't know.
We said we were gonna have lunch today anyway, so
yeah.
I do love that the community has been checking in with each other. Like, you guys have been doing a really good job of checking in with us, like individually and both on Minority Report, and just commenting and sending love, and just spreading the word to like stay calm and stay focused and all that kind of stuff. And that's just so encouraging. I mean, I think a lot of people are just dealing with just anxiety in so many different kinds of ways. To have like those words of encouragement is just really helpful. So I would just encourage you guys to keep doing that, because you never know who you're going to touch in the right way at the right moment at the right time. And we need that kind of positive energy out there, regardless of whatever the outcome is. We'll get through it, but just keep supporting each other.
Yeah. Look like Megan Thee Stallion's about to drop something tomorrow. Maybe a new video or something. Because the 12 nights
stay grinding. I love her.
She's so
good. She said, ain't no shot in my foot gonna stop my bag.
I know that's right. She said, I'm gonna give you all this choreography. I like Megan Thee Stallion. I do.
Me too.
Yeah.
I really do.
I don't like to hear her talk though.
Why? She got that
I don't know. It's just that kind of like Houston drawl. Just
you don't like that country.
When she was a judge on Legendary.
Mm-hmm.
I was just. I mean, I get why she was there. It was for the ratings and to bring in a certain kind of demographic, which I get, which is cool or whatever. But to hear her talk, she just. It's like when Beyonce talks.
Remember I sent you the little Twitter leak of
oh yes.
That dangle. I
was not ready for that. And where does all that come from? Because I mean we've seen the shorts, but we did see.
We saw the whole dangle. So community, if y'all ain't seeing, look it up on Twitter if it's still out there.
Yeah.
And I know we talked about this again about like nudes and leaking and the appropriation of it, but it's appropriately nice though.
Because like, how long is that? Like what, 14 inches?
No.
You don't think so?
No, but it was probably hanging a good.
I would say I'd say maybe a foot. I'd say 12. I would say 12.
It's probably good 11. Yeah, 11, 12.
Yeah.
It was hanging. Ooh,
that was a lot.
It was a lot.
I was not ready for that.
What's his name?
I don't know that I wanted to see that.
From Gucci or something like that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Jerrell, the father of the house, the gorgeous Gucci.
Yes. His news leaked, and I sent it to the crew, and we was like, yes, Lord. He's been mighty.
That was a nice distraction.
It sure was. Sure was. Dangle. That's like that Jackie. Do y'all watch Jackie Aina on YouTube?
Mm-mm.
No, the black beauty. She's like the only beauty person that I really watch because I want to support the black beauty people and so like the James Charleses and everything. But that's how she opens the show. Her name is Jackie Aina. She's like Jackie. So anyway, that's where the dangle song came from.
All right.
But anyway, I mean, community, we didn't have much in this episode. We were just kind of like collecting ourselves from the election, honestly. Hopefully you're all hanging in there. Check on your mental because this is a lot. This is a lot. 2020's already been a lot, but this on top of it is a lot. So check in on yourself. Check in on your friends, your family. I don't know. What y'all got anything else?
Yeah.
Love y'all.
Agree. Yeah, love on yourself. And it's okay to choose you.
And wash your hands, your legs, and your ass while you're at it. And
that part.
We'll see you next week. Oh, next week we have another guest. So another good guest next week. So we'll see you there.
Yes.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye, guys.
Coolio. Nice.